Hello, everybody, and thank you for listening to the Before and After the Movies podcast. Before we get started with this week's episode, I just want to remind people of our new website, beforeandafterthemovies.com. Here, you'll find a list of all of our episodes, even the famed Scoob episode. Also, you'll find a link to donate to the show. So if you've had fun listening along to us and are excited for more episodes in the future, these contributions go a long way in helping improve the show and allowing us to record more episodes. Once again, that's www.beforeandafterthemovies.com. And of course, a big shout out to all the listeners who've already shared their love and support with us. That's why we love doing this podcast, and we're excited to record many, many more. Okay, let's get set for this latest episode now. Hello, Packer.
All right, nice.
All right, we got that out of the way.
Yeah. No
Here
time for intros.
Episode 30,
Woo.
our last of the year. Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yes.
Quickly here, I'll get you to interject at the end. I know you like to interject
sure.
when I do cast lists, but just wait for the end here. Tom Holland, Zendaya. I just put villains. Do we need to elaborate?
We can do John Favreau.
Yeah, okay, John Favreau. Benedict Cumberbatch.
Marissa Tomei.
Yeah, okay. You're just gonna leave it at that? Do you want to keep going?
We can go Jamie Foxx.
We can go Jamie Foxx. We can go Alfred Molina.
And we can go Willem Dafoe.
And then I think we'll stop there.
And we'll stop right there.
Right there.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of level you're getting with this pre-show. Just quickly, Antony and I have done an excellent job avoiding rumors, leaks, and all that.
Yeah, for you, I don't think it's really too hard. Like you're well trained with this. Yeah. For me, it was very difficult. Mm-hmm. But for you, mostly, I saw the second trailer, and that was as far as I went.
Yep.
Spider-Man No Way Home. We are finally watching it.
This is huge. It feels like the biggest MCU release since Endgame.
Maybe bigger than Endgame?
Easy. Not bigger than Endgame, but like, because we had a COVID year gap, and then they gave out Black Widow, Shang-Chi, and the Eternals.
Ugh.
And those were kind of like, looking back on them, we'll look back on them less fondly. But I'm sure they will lead up to something good, and they were good at the time. But this is it. We've got a return of an IP.
And the TV shows as well.
Yeah. Have you been watching Hawkeye?
Yeah. So that's... Yeah. Should we just jump right into side review?
I haven't watched the... Yeah, okay, sure.
Okay, so this is side review.
Side review.
Side review. What?
Side review.
Huh? Side review.
Nice. What do you got for me?
I got Hawkeye.
Okay, I haven't watched the latest episode, but we can discuss.
I haven't seen episode 5 either.
Okay, great.
I've seen 1 through 4.
Yeah.
It's not very good.
Oh, really? I think it's incredible.
Oh, really?
I think it's so good.
It's okay. I was a bit harsh. I think it's fine. I find the human interactions very bizarre. I'm like, are you guys like...
They're friends, dude. What, you don't like Haley Steinfeld?
No, it's mostly Vera Farmiga and the husband. I'm like, are you guys about to like kill someone at all times? Like,
yeah, okay.
Who's hiding what? Like, why?
Oh, you're talking about it, right?
Yeah, it's very odd. It's a very odd show. Like,
I love the Christmas aspect.
Yeah.
The idea that he has to be home for Christmas Eve
cool.
is incredible.
Yeah.
Like, it just feels so grounded and real.
Yeah.
Jeremy Renner is doing an incredible job.
I would say like my big issue with it and why I'm having such a hard time connecting to the show is like I don't feel like they've given him much of like a character arc. I just feels like it's a day in the life of Hawkeye, which is kind of interesting. Yeah. But I guess I'm finding it hard to like switch to that like everyday life thing where I'm like, oh, like where's this big, like what's the big plot of this show?
Where's the Avengers level threat? Eh?
Yeah, and they even made that joke in the last episode.
Yeah, they did.
But it's cool. Like the action is quite comme ci comme ça, if you ask me.
They had the one in episode 3, a nice little tracking shot in the car.
On the bridge?
The 360, yeah.
Yeah. It's all right. Like it's not a show I would show to anyone who is like skeptical about Marvel or like not impressed with Marvel.
I think it's the best of the shows so far. I think it's just
put Loki just above.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Loki had a bit more like complexity to it.
It did.
This is very straightforward.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I'm not gonna argue on that. You're right.
But it's fun. It's like fun. And I have been enjoying it.
Mm-hmm. Quickly here before we go back to No Way Home, I have two.
Oh yeah, some more side.
I got 2 side reviews. First one is Netflix Christmas movie Klaus animated.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen it?
No.
Dude, if you're gonna watch a Christmas movie this season, watch it. It's really good, really well done. My second one, of course, is Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Oh yeah.
Directed by my friend Jason Reitman.
Your mentor.
Yeah, exactly. I quite enjoyed it. It's not quite Super 8 level. But you do have some good like kind of child wonder and good acting from McKenna Grace.
Were you looking at the watch at all, or were you?
No, I was actually really enjoying it up until the third act.
Oh, really?
The third act is a bit compressed, and you wanted a bit more out of it. But all in all, I think when it comes to streaming, definitely check it out.
Yeah. I've never been, like, Ghostbusters has never really been, like, a huge thing.
It wasn't
for me.
my thing, but it was just kind of fun to get out to the movies.
Nice.
Yeah.
Paul Rudd did good things.
Paul Rudd, he's always doing good things.
Yeah, like, and obviously without diving too much into the spoilers, like, you liked what you got from returning faces.
I did.
It serves up a good dose of that, or is it quite light?
No, it serves up a good dose. Obviously, because it wasn't really my time, so it didn't hit as hard. But for any fans of the franchise, I think you'll like it.
Gotcha. And then, the reason I was just going to touch on this, like, I've just been very busy towards the end of the year here. So when I have been watching movies, I've just been kind of going with, like, the greatest hits, the home runs that I can kind of have on. So my continue watching here is Edge of Tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
Love Actually.
Okay.
Everybody Loves Raymond. Bridesmaids. Ocean's 13. Such a good movie.
Good. I love Ocean's 13.
My favorite of the Ocean's movies.
Yeah, mine as well.
Absolute knockout. Hunger Games, Crazy Stupid Love, and 22 Jump Street. So,
and did you watch Bad Teacher today?
Yeah. I've pretty much rewatched all the Spider-Man leading up to this. I watched all 3 Raimis.
Yeah.
I didn't revisit Far From Home because I've seen it like 4
Fair
times.
Enough.
I watched Amazing Spider-Man 1 and Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Oh, you slogged through TASM 2. Hey, wow.
Amazing Spider-Man 1 is actually worse, I would say. It's so stale and boring, and nothing happens.
Andrew Garfield and his poofy ass hair.
Yeah, it's such a retread of the first one. Like, it spends the entire movie just, like, living in Spider-Man 1's shadow. I think, like, they didn't... Yeah, we'll go through, I guess, some of the original Spider-Man movie while we're here.
Sure, yeah, I like that, yeah.
Yeah, like...
Starting with Spider-Man 1 or starting with TASM 1?
We're on TASM 1, so let's maybe bang that out first.
Yeah.
It is, like I said, it lives in the shadow of the Raimi trilogy. It tries to just, like, rewrite certain scenes, like, and it's just so clunky, like the way they redo the Uncle Ben thing, the way they redo the spider bite.
Comic book tropes that they were new at the time, and then that one kind of made them very cliche.
Yeah,
they were reaching the end of it. So like the sky beam with the gas and all that.
Yeah.
Like,
and
that's rough.
I can save them, Peter.
Yeah, exactly. Like we don't need that anymore.
Exactly, and there's nothing that original going on within the story. Like he's not really Peter Parker to me. Like they really took a misstep on him. The action is pretty good. I'll say that.
Yep. The suit is good.
Yeah, the suit looks really cool. It's a bit darker. It just feels like if they were a little bit more brave and just, didn't follow the original, like maybe which they ended up doing with Tom Holland, like maybe he's already been Spider-Man for like a couple months. Like I think that would have been a lot wiser than just jumping straight into the origin story again. And, we know how much of a misstep it was, like the whole parent mystery.
Yeah,
that just no one really latched onto.
Subway,
yeah,
that's the second one, I think, right?
Yeah, but like there's some threads planted. Like the start of the movie, you see Richard Parker like leaving him behind.
Yeah.
We don't need any of that.
Too many threads, and that's exactly what Spider-Man 3 at the time felt like to do. But before we go to that, maybe we'll jump to TASM 2.
Yeah, TASM 2, I think it gets it gets harshly criticized, and rightly so, because it is a very sloppy script, and it's like. The biggest thing for me is the Harry Osborn just out of nowhere. Like, oh, I'm friends with the owner of the company that made me Spider-Man. Yeah, and I didn't mention it once. I didn't call him. I didn't bring him into it. He's like, Harry Osborn, my old
Peter
friend.
Parker. Yeah. Isn't that the question of the day?
Exactly. So that is my question.
Of the day.
Yeah. And like the origin story of Electro is like very shoehorned in, and how many villains are we going to get that just fall into a pit of the power they get in the Spider-Man movies? Like, fall in a sand pit. Like,
oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's a good line.
So that kind of bothered me. Fall in a thing of eels. You're just like, oh my God, please. But like, I think the action is really good. The costume is still the best Spider-Man on-screen costume we've ever seen. I would say that.
Emma Stone was great.
Yeah.
As Gwen Stacy, and they had great chemistry together.
Yeah, especially better in the second one.
Yeah,
because they were together by that point in real life.
Yeah.
And then I think the final act is like that fight in the clock tower is absolutely incredible.
With the hand.
Yeah, the hand web. Yeah, that stuff's all like pretty breathtaking. I really don't like how poorly they danced around Peter breaking the promise to Gwen Stacy's dad.
Oh, yeah.
Because that was such a massive part of the first one. And he just has that one throwaway line where he's like, they're doing the school report. And she's like, never make promises you can't keep or whatever. And he's like, well, those are the best kind. And it just almost makes him like a sleazy dirtbag. And you're just like, this isn't Peter Parker.
Come on, babe.
That was all quite weak for me. But I think it's not quite. And like, and the confrontation in like in Times Square is also pretty sick.
Oh, I love that.
You lied to me.
Yeah.
So I'd give TASM 1 is like a 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
TASM 2 is like a 5 out of 10. I don't think it's like a failed score.
Okay.
Rewind a little bit.
Are we starting with 1 or 2 or 3?
Let's just jump across the Spider-Verse real quick.
Oh.
We'll go with 1. Amazing.
Yeah.
So enjoyable.
Yeah.
Great performances across the board. Grounded in reality. Some of the CGI has aged really badly, like the balloon jumping.
Or the
festival.
Like the cardboard cutout.
Of
where
what?
like MJ's like holding on to him and they're swinging and it's just a cardboard cutout. I don't know if you've seen that.
No, I know what you're talking about, but I've never heard that's what it is. But I think the villain dynamic is really good. I think we get like great character or interactions and arcs with James Franco. And
Oh yeah, James Franco.
yeah, he's good in that first one. He really goes for it.
So good.
I'll be lucky if I'm half the man he is. So don't talk about things you don't understand. Almost got hit by what is it? Almost had to beat an old lady to get these cranberries when he shows up to the Thanksgiving party late.
I thought it was, I don't remember that one. I just remember Bike Messenger.
Yeah.
Or Back to
As
Formula.
I said, got clipped. Bike Messenger.
That was a good scene.
Yeah. So we're going all over the place here.
I know. Okay, let's reel it in. Reel it in. So that's Spider-Man 1.
So I'll get on to Spider-Man 2, which, it's so stereotypical, but it really is the best of them all.
It is good.
Oh.
No.
A point of contention.
No, I agree.
Okay.
From nostalgia point of view, I'm leaning towards Spider-Man 1. Mm-hmm. Just because when I was a bit younger when I watched Spider-Man 2 and that whole hospital opening scene.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of freaked me out, man.
That's really Raimi just flexing his creative muscles.
Yeah, they let him flex that and then they just ripped it all away from him for the third one.
But yeah, the second one has this like sense of scale and sense of consequence, and everything feels like everything has a lot of gravity to it. Like Peter's like struggle to like make rent and just like how bad everything's going for him. And like losing the powers. It's so well done, and it's such a great like superhero story, like told the old-fashioned way. You've got the iconic subway action scene.
Yep.
Which really stands the test of time. Alfred Molina, absolutely outstanding in the role. And then obviously Peter, I really liked his arc in Spider-Man 2. I think that's what makes it stand so strong.
Fair enough.
And then Spider-Man 3 I watched last night.
Yeah. Well, everyone knows the story behind Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
There was a lot of
Do tell us.
Studio involvement, so Raimi wanted to save Venom for the fourth one. The studio said he had to be in the third one. So this one we're left with so many threads. We have Sandman, we have Venom.
And they're not connected is the issue.
And we have James Franco, which seems out of nowhere.
Yeah.
The symbiote was a good job. I would say Topher Grace was a miscast. I know that's a bit controversial, but...
just kind of nitpicking it first. Like, the character design of Venom is, like, really, really poor.
Yeah, you don't get any tongue action.
Yeah, and they just make him... They make him way too dinosaur-y. He's like... he's like a little pterodactyl. He has no, like, wit or quip to him at all. They make him just more like an animal when he's Venom, which for me is just, like, completely missing the mark.
That's nice. That's a good point.
Yeah, but, like, when I'm watching the movie, I'm like... Okay, so they're chilling on the web, having their date, and the symbiote just comes from space out of nowhere, like right next to Peter's bike.
You hate convenient plot
I just
lines,
hate that. And then next thing you know, we cut to Flint Marko on the run, and he falls in the sand pit.
No, it's probably just a bird.
Yeah, exactly. It'll fly away when we start the test. So you get that, and then you get there's other things, and it's just like these threads aren't coming together at all. And then all of a sudden there's that one scene where Sandman and Venom just confront in the street, and it's like, I want to kill the spider, you want to kill the spider, let's work together. Like, do you remember that?
No.
Exactly. Because they just have to have like Sandman and Venom work together at the end, and there's no work or payoff for that whatsoever. And then you just have this absolute bizarre tailspin of dark Peter, which has so much potential.
The dig on this was so strange.
And it's just, oh, you're going to cry?
It's funny now looking back on it. It's very, very meaty. Yeah, but at the time, I remember like saying, "What the hell am I watching?"
Yeah, it's very strange. Mm-hmm. Like obviously the dancing and the flicking around and like the emo hair. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really and the James Franco amnesia just out of nowhere. Yeah. And all of a sudden he's best friends with them all again.
He's my best friend.
Yeah, and then you have him and Mary Jane like having their little like romantic thing, and the way he tells him in the diner is just like really off. Like
yeah.
I feel like the movie just got too bogged down with like the love triangle romance. Like it's very like heavy on the romance, that movie. It's like all about Peter and MJ's relationship.
Yeah. I remember the biggest complaint at the time was there's too many villains.
Yeah, but we've since learned that that's not an issue.
Exactly, and that was my next point.
Yeah, 100%. As long as you get the balance right. And I think
100%, dude.
Yeah, and what we're moving into with probably No Way Home is just that. And hopefully that's what we get to see.
Exactly. Well put.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And the other thing is just like, shoehorning in like the real death of like Uncle Ben and how Flint Marko actually killed him. Yeah. And it's just like these awful flashbacks with Uncle Ben who looks like 12 years older. He can like barely get out of the car.
Why did they even need that link?
Yeah, you didn't need that. Because
I didn't mean to kill your uncle.
Yeah, and it starts the revenge plot for Peter to like use the dark suit to go beat up Flint.
Stupid.
Yeah, and I just think I agree with you. Like, I heard something slightly different. I heard that Sam Raimi just like didn't like the character of Venom and like wasn't really interested in doing it. Like he loved Sandman. Like it was always what he wanted to do because he loves the villains that are intrinsically tied to Peter Parker and Spider-Man.
Okay.
And I think he probably did want to do the story of like see the Goblin come to fruition with James Franco and then have like the Uncle Ben thing wrapped and just have the movie be about that. But then he had to throw in this like other thing. You've got Gwen Stacy going on in there as well.
Oh yeah, played by
Bryce Dallas Howard.
Oh yeah, wow.
Yeah. There's a lot going on in that movie. And like when he's full emo and he takes Bryce Dallas Howard out to the jazz club and he's like dancing with her in front of MJ. And it goes on for like 5 minutes. And it's just super wild.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I'd give Spider-Man 3 like a 5, I'd say.
Fair enough. All right. Let's get back to No Way Home. Let me hit you with some fast questions.
Okay.
Here we go. Question number 1.
Eyes are closed.
Will we see Tom Hardy?
Yes.
Question number 2. Will we see Kirsten Dunst in a Go Get 'Em Tiger cameo?
No.
Question number 3. Happy ending or Infinity War ending?
Infinity War ending.
I agree. I think we're going Infinity War with this one. Whew.
Yeah, I got some fast questions for you as well. Okay. I think I might have a little repeat here, but will we hear Danny Elfman's classic Tobyverse theme?
Oh my god, I hope. Oh my god, I remember thinking as a kid the intro was so
kid.
long.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Fuck.
Yes or no?
I hope so.
If I don't have to pay or whatever you had to do to make that happen, make it happen.
Yeah, I have a statement on that later.
Okay. Will we see Emma Stone?
No. And my reason being, I think they're saving Emma Stone in the MCU for a different character.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Did Reef Afons spend more than 2 days on set?
No. Probably just for voice. Not even.
Will Electro die?
Probably.
How?
He's like dunked in water or something.
A little halfway. Get him out of the way quickly. Yeah, halfway through the movie.
They're just going to be dropping these villains
Not
like
again.
Flies.
Drop him in a pool of water. So lazy.
Michael Keaton coming back? I don't know.
Dude, I don't think so.
Okay.
Will Happy die?
Ooh. I hope not. I'm going to say no.
Yeah, I think we have to get a death in this movie.
Ned?
Maybe. MJ?
Like a child death?
Zendaya?
No, Zendaya's too hot. She's too hot right now. Dude.
Yeah, they're going to get her Spider-Woman or Spider-Gwen or whatever. 100%. Yeah. Okay, that's all I got for you for fast questions.
Okay, so I just got a little statement here. So many talks, rumors, expectations, blah, blah, blah. Expectations being the big thing. And I'm just going to say right now, if Andrew and Toby appear, I will cry.
Yeah.
I will lose it. And
I think I might shed a tear.
The original Spider-Man was like iconic, man. I still remember 2001 family movie night, going to the theaters. I got my comic books.
My parents
and
wouldn't let me see it in
toys.
theaters, the first one.
Oh, really? I'm 9 years old, watching with my brothers, and we're just like in awe.
Yeah.
We're seeing like one of our favorite heroes come to life and done so well.
And it was done so well. The time I first saw it, because I was right on that, like, I don't know why they didn't let me go see it. I was like 9, I guess, as well. Or maybe 8 or 9.
8 or 9 is what I had. Yeah.
And like, I think my dad had read that it was like quite violent. They were just like, they were super on the fence about it.
Yeah.
And then our next door neighbors came home from vacation.
Yeah.
And I think they went to somewhere in Asia, and they had they brought back a torrented version of it.
Oh shit.
And it was in like pretty decent quality. And then that was when my parents were like, okay, like we can watch this, and like if it gets bad, we'll like pause it or whatever.
Oh well.
And I just tuned it at home, which is sad because I never got to see the first one in theaters.
But you got to see the
I got to see the second one with my mom, and I was just Doc Ock was just like the coolest thing I'd ever seen.
So cool.
And like the puppet work in that movie is just stunning.
All right, so let's get into this one here.
Yeah, so I'd like to start with an opening scene, if I may.
Sure.
I
got one too, actually.
I'll preface this just by saying, like, this movie is hard to predict, because we were chatting about, like, you almost don't want to think too much about it, because you don't want to dare like have anything not be a surprise.
So true.
But there's a few things I have, and like the crazy thing for me is like, how are they going to make this make sense narratively? Like, where are all these villains coming from?
The multiverse.
But like, are they just popping out of nowhere? Like, why are
I
they?
don't know how that's gonna logistically work. Right?
Because all these villains' arcs like typically ended with them like being good. Being gooded. You got Doc Ock became good. The Lizard became good. Sandman became good.
Yeah.
So is it like back in time? Are they from another like?
I see what you mean.
Slightly different universe, or are they from?
Honestly,
the
man,
Tobyverse?
I'm willing to look the other way on that.
Okay.
If they just appear.
Yeah. Okay, but then my other thing is like, you got Doctor Strange as a big player in this movie, which is amazing. But like, if you really think about it, like, there's going to be something in this movie that has to happen to put him out of action.
Yep.
Because he's too powerful for, like, he's going to fuck up, like, Green Goblin.
Yeah, so I have, like, maybe...
Is that one of your predictions?
I have, like, maybe Tom Holland dimension hop, so I feel like we're kind of leaving our universe. So that's why we leave Strange, Ned, and MJ behind.
So it's not them coming to our universe. That's what it seems like it is. Maybe
that's what
first.
It seems like in the trailer, but maybe they're doing a little Feige misdirection on us.
Because it is No Way Home.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's getting pulled into other verses by himself.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
It's just so cool. I can't wait to see this.
I know. Hit me with your opening scene. Let's go.
All right. We open on Doc Ock. I think they're going to really surprise us on this.
Okay.
We open on Doc Ock falling deeper and deeper into the river from Spider-Man 2.
Okay.
With the huge sun behind him.
Yeah. What are the... Tritinium or Trililium?
Tritium. I'll give you all the tritium you want. Bring me the spider. So we see him, and he's like still alive, and he's just like falling, and then all of a sudden he just goes and just vanishes.
Oh my god!
And then
Asher does it for all of them.
And then we see a quick montage of iconic Spider-Man villain sets completely empty.
Oh my god! You're just giving me goosebumps.
I know.
Right now.
So like a lizard lab, and it's just like completely deserted,
Yeah.
or maybe he's working on something, and just I think after we see the first zoom,
you just use the
it's
sound.
after the zooms.
Oh my god, dude!
And then. Yeah, we see like the goblin lair just like completely empty, and then that's where we get like the big title sequence. I think that's what I'm going with.
Okay, but my opening scene's a bit different. So it's going to be newspaper headline spiraling. Exactly. Masked menace terrorizes city.
So you're going for a comedic.
I'm going for a classic J. Jonah Jameson kind of a homage, lighthearted intro comedic.
Right.
Before we swing into things.
So is that from our universe, like the bald one, or okay? So we get him.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think that's going to be it. And then it'll be our light intro, and then we're just going to go dark.
So we'll go to like right after Far From Home picked up, like when he's in the city swinging around.
Exactly.
Cool. I think we'll go to that right after my villain intro.
Yep.
And maybe like as a bit of a homage, like that could almost be like part of the title sequence. Like they do more of a Raimi, like longer title sequence with the original music.
Do you know who's scoring this one? Is it?
I think it's Hans Zimmer.
Is it?
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought it was Michael Giacchino.
I'll be down for him as well. Okay, so let's move into some predictions now.
Okay.
So something very again, to preface this, I know you're very touchy about predictions and anything I know, so I just want to assure you that I don't know any of this is going to happen.
Okay, but you haven't hit dingers lately.
I know. And there is a danger of that, but we just have to live with it.
That's true.
Sacrifices with the pod. Something odd for me is up with Doctor Strange. I don't think he is the real Doctor Strange.
Mephisto.
It's either Mephisto or Scarlet Witch. Maybe has him under control, because we know right after this we're going into Multiverse of Madness.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I think he's maybe being manipulated by, like, well, maybe it's another Spider-Man villain. Like, maybe Mysterio is somehow involved in all this.
Ooh, I'd be down.
But that would be a quick turnaround, because this takes place right after.
Well, Jake G action.
Yeah, so I just think, like, something's a bit off with him.
That's a strong. I like that. It's actually a really good prediction.
Yeah, so I think he's under some kind of control. I think it's gonna start off like not. I think the mistake that that Peter makes with the spell or whatever. I think it's gonna start off like not a super big deal. Like my thinking is it's like, oh, there's a few villains that have come from like other multiverses. Like you got to go and bring them back. Like I'm busy or something. And
or some crooks or something, you know?
Yeah, and Doctor Strange is like, I don't like this is your problem. Like you deal with it. I got things to do. So maybe that's how they get rid of him. So he kind of goes away for a bit, and then
that's kind of a cheap removal of Doctor Strange. I know you haven't thought that. I know you're just kind of, it was like an aside thought. But
yeah, it was a bit of a side thought.
I'm gonna ignore that, and you can just keep going.
So I think we get a slightly comedic. Like, yeah, a bit of a light tone.
Maybe he's a Skrull, but how can he be? He can't be, like, the thing is with Doctor Strange, he has to be performing these magic. So the Scarlet Witch aspect is.
Yeah, I think I'll go with Scarlet Witch, and then I think he meets up with Doc Ock, and it's like it's a good fight scene, but it's not like it's not an Avengers level threat at this point. But then I think maybe Doc Ock gets captured, and maybe him and Green Goblin get captured by Spider-Man.
Okay, Green Goblin's in now.
Without too much hassle from that bridge scene. Because you see the bomb rolling on the highway bridge.
I'll give you that.
So I think he rounds him up with his Iron Spider suit. It's all good. They bring him back to like the Strange Mansion or whatever. And then from there, Goblin maybe like steals something of Doctor Strange's that like brings all the other villains in. He finds...
So MacGuffin 1 happens, then MacGuffin 2 happens.
I think, so I'll just say something slightly bad happens, but then maybe Peter makes some kind of mistake that makes everything even worse. So I do think it's just going to be an unraveling thing. And then that's when Doctor Strange is like, I got to put you away. And then that's when there's like a strange Spider-Man fight. And then from there, things get really bad. Okay. Because I'd like this movie to be quite dark, because it looks like my one worry with this movie is it looks a bit too goofy from what I've seen. Yeah, but the past two have been a great blend of goofy and serious. Exactly. So I'm sure they know how to toe that line. Yeah, and exactly how you want it. My other prediction is that like once all the Spider-Man villains do kind of unite, I think we'll finally see like the Sinister Six come together. Oh, okay. And I think their whole thing will be like, let's not go back to our world where Spider-Man kills us. Like we're just gonna all stay here. Okay, that's not bad. Yeah. That's so I think the Sinister Six will end up being Doc Ock, Goblin, Sandman, Electro, Lizard. And you got one more in there. Is it Venom? Oh no, Venom's never been. Is it Vulture? I think it might be Vulture. They let him out of the prison or whatever. Yeah, they didn't. Maybe like a sting or two is him like, gotta go find this Morbius fellow or something. This Morbius fellow. Michael Morbius. What's up, Doc? Just a couple notes here. Massive Zendaya character improvement from Homecoming to Far From Home. Yeah. And I hope that we continue that trend and see some more good chemistry between them. Mm-hmm. In the first one, I didn't really like her. In the second one, she felt a bit more real and more human. Hope to get some good Ned quips. Do you? Oh, Peter, come on, Peter. That was pretty good. There we go. I've been working on that one. We've been hunting villains all day. But yeah, I wonder... I wonder if we're just gonna get a couple scenes before Peter's kind of thrown into it, and then. Oh, we didn't say Electro when we were doing the Sinister Six, did I? Okay. Yeah, you did. Relax. Oh, I'm still thinking about the Sinister Six. You started to say Ned, and my head just drifted off the villain action scenes. Any Eternals Celestial? No, as if. I don't care about the Eternals. This feels a bit Civil War-esque. Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if Shang-Chi popped up. Yeah. I think, well, I'll leave that. All right, there we go. And then, I've written so much like just gibberish here.
Me too.
Green Goblin will find a way to take out Strange and will convince the rest of the villains that they need to kill Spider-Man to keep their loved ones alive. What do you mean, Goblin? That's Thomas Hayden Church. I just want to get my daughter back. And you will.
Oh my god.
That's pretty good.
Maybe all these maybe all these villains are just like Doctor Strange projections or something.
I think we might. Yeah, there's gonna be a twist of some sort.
Yeah, I think so.
Like we got a big twist coming our way. So I got to tread lightly here. So I'm just gonna ask you, how do you think? Are we getting Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire?
So I don't know. But I really want it to happen.
And if it does, how would you go about it? How would you bring them in? What happens? Yeah. And how does it? Tell me everything about the third act.
Basically, Tom Holland's like getting his ass kicked. He's about to get killed. Someone like Doc Ock like chucks like a spear at him. All of a sudden, a web comes over and grabs it.
Okay.
And then it pulls in, and it's like Andrew Garfield.
Is it Garfield first?
It's Garfield first. Obviously, it's Garfield first. And he's like, looks like you could use some help. And he starts quipping around, and then all of a sudden Toby comes in.
You just want those generic first doing it.
Oh my god.
But have they been over the whole time?
I don't know, man. I'm getting so sweaty right now just thinking about it.
Looks like you could use some help. Here's your change.
Oh, I'm back. That's what Toby says.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh man. I think it's going to be something. I just don't know.
I feel like I'm so worried that we're setting ourselves up for massive disappointment.
Yeah. They can't just come out of nowhere. Like it has to be. Maybe they're getting overwhelmed. They're losing the battle. Mm-hmm. And Strange, for some reason, he can't get involved, but he's like, let me see if I can like get you some help, kid.
Portals. He can do portals.
So he's like struggling.
He's sling-ringing some things around.
Slinging a little portal out. Needs some help.
On your left. It's Falcon. Can you imagine that's the cameos they grab?
Is it possible that like that there's an even bigger threat in this movie? Like... Or is Goblin...
Oh, I see what you mean. Maybe there's like a...
like what other Spider-Man villains...
architect kind of thing here.
Yeah.
Which leads me back to
Mephisto?
That kind of something's going on with Strange. But I don't know. Introducing Mephisto in kind of like a third act would be leaving people Googling and
not a lot of people know who that is.
I didn't really know who he was. So I looked him up in my Marvel Encyclopedia book.
Yeah, exactly. I think... Okay, so one other thing. Could you see... a possibility where do you see this providing a gateway for either Toby or Garfield to continue their own stories, or you think this is just the one-off one movie?
And I hope it is just a one-off.
I don't know if I agree. I don't want it to just be like fan service though. Like have it mean something, have it have implications moving forward. Could you see a world where let's say Holland and Garfield, like Holland ends up in a different universe and one of them is in our universe, and now it's like we got to get Holland back. Like that's maybe one of the post-credit things.
No, I'm sorry. No.
That's where they go and find Ant-Man. We need you to get in the quantum realm. That's Quantum Mania. Garfield and fucking run.
No, I'm sorry. I'm not giving... Garfield doesn't deserve that.
So he doesn't earn... I want to say Toby, but I just don't see Toby being down.
No.
What is he, 46?
He's kind of done with that. I would think I will say, to just go back to how they're introduced, I think we might get your like little zoop, zoop scene.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll get like a little side, like rustling in an alley, and like you see like a dark shadowy figure kind of like do that. So it kind of says that they've been there the whole time. I don't know if I'm
you fucking lost me there.
So
zoop, rustle alleyway.
You have a scene where all the villains are getting...
Is at the start, like...
Yeah, they're getting portaled in. And then like maybe halfway through the first act, it kind of cuts to a dark alley. And you kind of hear the same noise. And you see a shadowy figure. So you see that someone else came along. You don't know who it is, but you have been introduced to this other character who might join.
Right. So what do you think it is that's like... Because we open a hole to the multiverse or whatever. Mm-hmm. Why specifically like these villains? Like someone must be orchestrating this.
Yes,
because it's too convenient. Just like the multiverse opens, so obviously Doc Ock and Green Goblin.
Maybe it's just something to do with the spell.
Right.
Bring forth all those who want to kill me or something. Because
what he wants is people to not know that I'm Spider-Man. So maybe it's like people that were involved in his identity like getting revealed somehow. Like it can't be like they just got to be smart.
Yeah.
If it's just stupid and all too convenient, this movie could unravel like really quickly.
I know exactly what you mean. Which kind of brings me back to this. Maybe there's an architect kind of a further villain.
I'm trying to think like who fits the bill. Like could it be just like Norman Osborn maybe?
No. What about like what if it's Kang or something?
Yeah. Has to have do you think that we could be getting some Fantastic Four here? Because the reason I say that, I know we say it every single time. What's the director of this movie's name?
I was too scared to look it up because I forgot. I know it's not Mark Webb.
No, it's not Mark Webb.
Is it John Hughes?
No, I wish. That's so bad.
You can't look it up.
I can't.
It's too dangerous.
That's really poor from us. Come on, think. Look at that Wikipedia page. Visualize it.
I just remember last time we were talking about...
It's like John Friend or something, or... It will come to me. It'll come to me.
Sure it's not Mark Webb?
No, he did Amazing Spider-Man. Yeah. But he's directing the Fantastic Four movie. That's confirmed.
Okay. And you got Sam Raimi who's directing
That's just insane. That really makes me feel like we're getting more Toby moving forward.
Oh, okay.
Maybe he's got a part to play in...
I don't like playing this director's game. I don't know.
Multiverse of Madness.
Feels like we're leaving the movie universe and kind of think about real world logistics now. That kind of takes.
But it's just like who would be better equipped to like help Toby transition into this world?
Just talking like as if Toby's just been like living in like a cryo.
I know, he basically has been. He did Brothers, then he went right back in.
Oh man. Dr. Doom, like
Charles Xavier,
Loki.
Hello, Peter. Yeah,
they wouldn't go to the Loki fountain again
because the Loki the Loki thing that happened
could be.
Is it this though? Because they can't expect people watching this movie to have seen Loki.
100%.
No. This movie affects other movies, not the other way around. Loki does not influence No Way Home.
Such a dirty little line.
He can't pull that. He doesn't have that clout. I think Kang is probably the best guess.
Mm-hmm. In his like classic suit.
So we just go up to him and we see that he's like kind of pulling the strings or something.
Yeah.
So
I'm okay with that. I think I'm okay with that.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on post-credit scenes? Like, do you think it's a pretty high probability of Venom?
What are we gonna get? Yeah, I think we'll get Venom post-credit.
Just like more of a... Oh, no, I had one written down here. Post-credit scene. Oh, yeah. So I genuinely think this. This isn't me just fucking with you. Mm-hmm. I think Tobey Maguire is going to play a role in the MCU after this. Maybe not Andrew Garfield, but I think Tobey is going to be around, and he's in our world, and we see that he's like acclimatizing to like...
Oh my God.
He's like, getting used to life. He's doing something. He's like looking at an apartment or something. And then I think the post-credit scene involves Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock and Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
Topher Grace.
No, I think that's a better like fit for a Spider-Man Venom relationship. I know it's out there.
Yeah,
it's fucking
super out there.
It's out there. But
it challenges my beliefs and I don't like it.
That's what we all want.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Spidey.
Post credits.
Yeah.
So my prediction is like I don't think Tom Holland is gonna have a sad ending. I don't think he's gonna be back in his universe. So
you agree with that he'll be stuck somewhere else?
Yeah, and maybe he gives Zendaya some sort of communication MacGuffin thing before.
And what world do you think he's in? Like a darker world or one of the other, like a verse just full of villains and like chaos essentially?
What if he's in like an animated verse?
There's no way they're going Space Jam on us.
I'm just throwing that there. What if he's in fucking Miles Morales Spider-Verse?
There's no way.
Either way, Zendaya has some sort of communication MacGuffin that begins to turn on or something.
Yeah, like maybe it's kind of like the last act of spite from like the Goblin to like send Tom Holland to like this hellish Secret Wars universe where it's like all post-apocalyptic or something.
Oh shit, and he could be the first one on the Secret Wars, and as more people join him, he's like, follow me, I know how to survive this or something.
Exactly. Or maybe he goes to like...
Maybe for the uninitiated.
Like a world where the X-Men are or something.
Do a quick Secret Wars intro.
You go for it.
You don't know it, do you?
No, just enlighten.
Dr. Doom takes all the heroes and all the villains and transports
puts them to the games. Like, you gotta play the games.
And basically they have to fight each other.
Yeah, but I don't think they'll do it so like crap. Like
no, but they'll do it slowly maybe.
Yeah, but like it can't be that simple. Like,
But maybe the post credit is
get
like
angry about it.
the post credits is like he ends up there and it like pans to this
Let
world.
the games begin.
No, it pans to this world that not the
You
average
should see his hands right now.
not even you and I, but other people would recognize as the Secret Worlds planet.
Secret worlds.
I don't know enough about it, but now I'm fired up.
I think it's like a dark world maybe. Because like if you've seen all the what ifs, like there's a lot of worlds out there where like Ultron won or it's something like that, and we'll pick up with him later on and a few movies down the line. I think we're planting some really interesting seeds right now, and I think we're gonna see there.
We can have different Spider-Man movies though.
We can have two Spider-Man coexisting. It's 2021.
No,
man.
I don't think so. I'm going to disagree with you on that one. I respect the opinion.
So you think Tobey and Garfield go back to their worlds?
I see where you're going, and I think it's valid. I think that if it were to happen, I'd be shocked, but I'd be like, okay, yeah, this is something that was definitely on the table. But in my eyes, it just doesn't make much marketing sense. Too many people get confused. They go, I'm going to watch the new Spider-Man movie. It's this one with this one, or I'm going to go watch. Or
I don't think we've got two separate Spider-Man franchises. I think Tom Holland will be the only one who continues to get like Spider-Man as like the movie. But I think you could have these other characters existing in like Shang-Chi 2 or whatever. Because think of the possibilities.
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know.
In this one, like we're gonna get a line of dialogue between Doctor Strange and a Tobey-verse Doc Ock, which is insane already. Mm-hmm. So like they're only doing this because they've just like figured out that this is what people want. So I think that like mixing and mashing the previous established universes is something that they're not quite done with. And a really classic like good idea for storytelling, like especially with like long form content like TV shows, is end a season by taking. Like I've heard them talk about this on like Lost or like big shows like that. They basically think of like the season as like a board game, like a big strategy game. It's like, okay, you've got this character over here. Always end a season finale by like throwing everyone in like different directions. And then it's like, we're now morbidly curious of like, how is Tom Holland going to get over here? Like this person's stuck here. And I think we're in it for the long haul, so like, why not go for it? If they just come back for like one third act action sequence, then it's we're all going home to our universe.
That's what we're getting.
What was the point then? Like,
I just think that's what we're getting.
Okay.
But I see what you're saying. And
yeah. What do you think Tobey Maguire's pulling for this? I think he got paid a lot of money for this because I don't think he was like.
If he's in it, part of me doesn't like. I'm actually 50-50 on Tobey. Andrew, I think they probably were able to grab.
Lucky them.
But for Tobey, like
he had to take a day off of Tick Tick Boom Boom or whatever.
Tick Tick Boom.
You don't think Toby's in this, do you?
I'm trying not to get my hopes up, man. That's just it, right? And he just seems to be done with the acting game.
He hasn't done a movie in a long time. That whole thing
that he's like a dick to work with.
Should we just look up Tobey Maguire's filmography and see what comes up?
Oh, that makes me feel sick. Couldn't even Google the goddamn director. Mark Foster.
No, that's Quantum of Solace.
Fuck.
Mark Forster.
Mark Forster.
His name is John Goddard? John Goddard? No. John Watts. Jonathan Watts.
John Watts. Okay. But what I'm saying is Tobey Maguire is like done with acting. Tobey's done with acting, and if they managed to get him, they had to just bring
money talks, man.
They had to bring truckloads of money.
Yeah, because he's living a comfortable life from Spider-Man for the rest of his life. So I think they called him, and he's first call. He's probably like, honestly, I'm not super interested.
That's a shitty Tobey Maguire impression.
Andrew Garfield. Yes, I would love to do that. Yeah. I loved playing that character so much.
Oh my god! I just want to go watch this fucking movie.
I just think he said like, honestly, yeah, like I'm not super interested. Like send me a script, and then I think they have a good script here, and they sent it over, and I think he's like, I'm interested. Like, let me talk to Sam. Gave Sam Raimi a call. And what do you think about all this Marvel stuff?
What is this? This is the longest skit I've ever seen.
What do you think about all this Marvel stuff I'm hearing about? I'm not super down for it. Sam's like, listen to me, Toby. I'm currently prepping Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and what these guys have got going on is awesome.
This is ridiculous.
I think you should give it a try. He read the script, and he's like, you know what? Sure. 10 mil? No.
10 mil. Oh my
10
God.
mil. I think that's what he got. Andrew Garfield got like 6.
We're going to look like idiots when they both don't show up. Either way.
It's just like other Spider-Verse people, like other Spider-Man, like new actors. Like,
Or just like Tom Holland with
they
a
just make it a
beard.
big joke, like Ryan Reynolds or something.
Brad Pitt. Hey, Spider.
Hey, get back to your world. God. All right. I can't do this anymore.
I'm so excited. We're just trying to burn time here.
Yeah, I know.
We've got another hour.
I'm going to throw this one at you. This is my riskiest one.
Like, spoilery risky?
Something we've talked about. A character that I said was going to pop up. And
I think I remember.
I can talk about this. I don't know anything.
Yeah, because it was completely baseless.
Yeah. Are we seeing Daredevil in this movie?
I don't think so. I'll just say that.
Cool. My prediction is we get Matt Murdock. No, and I think
Charlie Cox?
Charlie Cox just as Daredevil in that lawyer scene in the trailer. I think I'm fucking right about that. There's no way they would have Tom Holland have a lawyer and have it not be Matt Murdock.
Okay, fair enough. I think it's going to be like one of those sketch comic
I think
actors.
it'll be one scene, and then I think we're setting him up to come up in new movies in later, or maybe another season of Daredevil. I think they're going to bring that back. It was just too popular. It's most critically acclaimed Marvel TV show ever.
But they all like they made those non-canon now. They just erased
They
them.
haven't actually done that.
I thought they did with Disney Plus.
No, they've been super quiet about it, but they haven't like come out and said it's not canon. I think it's just like it's another similar universe, but I think it's all canon now. Anything is canon.
Okay. Last
thoughts? Any chance of any X-Men popping up in this?
No X-Men. I like where your head's at with Fantastic Four. I just like
maybe that's our post-credit scene, Holland and the Fantastic Four, because the Spider-Man and Fantastic Four have a very big history. He was even a member of the Fantastic Four at one point.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So I think maybe that's what we get. Like he's stuck in some intergalactic like prison or something, kind of like the quantum realm, and I think maybe he gets rescued by.
The only person that could rescue him
is John Krasinski.
No, it would have to be the Thing, a CGI Thing.
Why?
Because there's no way Krasinski's in this movie without me finding out.
Yeah, dude.
All right, let's leave it at that.
Okay.
We'll see you in Spider-Man 3, The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
And Into the Spider-Verse 1.
There we go. You want all the preparation. We're back. My back.
The MCU's back, baby.
I haven't even given it out of 10 a thought here.
Yeah, we're trying something a little different. Usually we spend about 5 to 10 minutes, just digesting our thoughts, writing things down. But I think we just decided for this one, let's just dive right into it.
We're pretty excited.
Yeah.
Okay, out of 10.
3, 2, 1, 8.5.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna drop it down to 8.5. Yeah. We'll get into that. Why? Heavy spoilers ahead.
I don't know why. I just kind of went with my gut. Yeah. We'll try and discover it together.
All right, let's get into this.
So, Spider-Man No Way Home.
No way they just pulled that off.
I know. They stuck the landing. I guess first thing I'll just say is the first thing that comes to mind. Why the 8.5? Why not the 9 or the 9.5 or even the 10?
Do you want to,
never give 10s on the first viewing of any movie.
Okay.
2, I think that because it was such a massive idea and such a huge concept, they had to plant a lot of seeds and get a lot of things together and sneak a few lines in there that were a little bit dodgy. They took more time setting up the movie than I expected, which ultimately is always a good thing. But I couldn't help but feel in that first 30 minutes getting a little restless. I think the theater was getting a little bit restless as well. And I think it was just because we're all so excited. It's we know all these huge villains are coming. We know there's some big twists to come. But they really spent their time just living with Peter a little bit, trying to live his normal life.
I like what you said, some forced lines of dialogue. Some of Doctor Strange's stuff seemed a bit off.
Yeah.
To the point where I was like, oh, are we Mephistoing here? But no, he's just kind of a dick.
Yeah. And then obviously the world is very hostile towards Peter. And I couldn't help but think well, there's so many other super people in this world. Why
that's
are
what I
they...
was thinking. I was like, well, what would Cap do in this situation?
Yeah,
he just wears himself
Hawkeye.
on the shoulder.
They just walk around. Tony Stark. He deals with some public animosity, but he should be getting more than this kid, you know?
I agree. Yeah.
And like it didn't really make sense to me like why people were so like like the Mysterio was right clan just seem a bit. It's a bit of a script writing tool. It's like
oh really? I mean, we're kind of seeing it in today's day and age, right?
But it's like, what did Mysterio was around for so little time in this world? Like, well, how does he have such a
big following?
Yeah,
yeah.
Maybe because he did do a pretty good job with those elementals, fighting those elementals.
Yeah, but yeah, I'll say the first act and a half, maybe we didn't limp through, but we definitely didn't. Yeah, you know, it wasn't straight A's like, flying colors.
Yeah, like some of the jokes weren't really landing. Like some of the Flash Thompson stuff was a little bit.
But part of me wonders because like my heart was just racing. I was like, "Come on, just give me what I want. Just give me what I want."
So it's not like it was awful or anything. No. It was just like it took a bit of time to get going, and it felt a little clunky for the first little bit.
Yeah.
And then basically in the story, we've all seen the trailer. He goes to see Doctor Strange. He asks him to make everyone forget about him. Mm-hmm. It's very confusing in the trailer, but when you see it in the movie, they space it out a lot better, and it makes more sense. And you see each rung of the spell coming in. And he's like, everyone who knows me. And that was that script writing thing we were talking about before. It's like, how is this all going to work? And the perfect answer was everyone who knows who he is already is involved in this.
Yeah.
And that's where the connection to all those like specific villains comes in. Mm-hmm. Spell goes wrong. A lot of them get brought over.
Yeah.
And then as soon as we get that bridge altercation, the movie kicks up a notch.
Yes. I would agree.
Yeah. Would you like to add to that?
I started to waver a bit. I was getting a little confused from the humor from a lot of the villains.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think
it's when they were in the prison?
Yeah. I think that's Spider-Man villains. They've always been quippy to one another, right? Or Spider-Man to its villains.
Yeah, and like they always have like a little bit of an edge of like, they have some good qualities to them. It's not like they're just like evil psychopaths.
Yes.
Like they all have some humanity to them. So they're not total, you know, animals that can't be negotiated with. So they got that right. And like once the villains started to build that rapport with each other, because at first they just made them all seem kind of stupid. It was like, this lizard's a joke in this. Like,
yeah, exactly.
But it did make sense because they had no bargaining chips or like no power really.
Because usually they're fighting in their element and they have something. Yeah, they have something that they work with.
So yeah, and like Jamie Foxx as well. They were going very humorous with him. And then basically all the villains get captured fairly easily. And then you get that classic like Peter Parker morale dilemma.
I was wavering on that to start. I was like, dude, just fucking send it back. Like, it's not your problem. But like at the end of the movie now, like I did a complete 180.
Well, that's thankfully all down to Willem Dafoe. Because I think when he came in, he gave he did a lot of the heavy lifting for the villains. Because he was just had so much gravitas like in his performance.
Phenomenal actor.
Yeah, like he was just so convincing. Like when he was pretending to be the homeless man, and like he's playing two characters at the same time. Like you know that there's this edge to him, but he genuinely is innocent in those moments. But it's like the Green Goblin's still like pulling the strings. Yeah, and like I don't know how he layers that performance in such a silly movie where like there's green screen everywhere. Like I don't know, he just keeps it so real. I think he was such a highlight for me.
Oh man, he just brought it.
Yeah, and then once, you know, the fight scenes with like Doc Ock and stuff were really good, but like it's CGI, so like there's an element of like, you know, you can do anything in those scenes. But when they started doing the Goblin fight scenes, the choreography was like I was not expecting that from this.
It was so brutal, man. Yeah. They're just like going through walls and like they made him like he is strong, right? Like Green Goblin is strong, and it was just like he kicked Tom Holland's ass.
Yeah, he did. He's so much smarter, such a smarter fighter than he was, and I really liked that element to it.
And then of course, I'll just preface it, I haven't cried in a movie this much in a while.
Slow down.
No, I'm just like but not even like so.
When was the first tier?
When May dies.
We haven't even talked about Matt Murdock. That was also for me like kind of odd. Like it was such a short scene.
I think it's just a soft pilot kind of introduction. I think he'll probably be in a show coming up.
Or maybe we'll get to it. But yeah, before we get to May, because that was also like a big surprise. Like I didn't see them going that far. Like MCU hasn't been very brave with killing off characters, and I feel like they're starting to get like a little bit more brave with it. You know, Stark, Black Widow, now Aunt May, some big deaths. Yeah, so I guess we can skip to that. So
it's not skip; it's like the next scene.
I feel like we've just missed some stuff.
We did miss Matt Murdock. Do you want to go back to that?
No, we can move on from Matt Murdock. So just in the middle of all that commotion, when the villains, he you're missing the whole thing where he's kind of working with them and he brings them all to the apartment.
Okay, yeah.
And Alfred Molina also deserves a shout out because he was so good at just being so evil and like so irritated, and the way that he switched characters once they fixed his chip, you really understood. It was like, okay, like that's why he's just so hard to talk to and like so snappy and so evil because he's just got these voices in his head constantly. Yeah. Seeing Otto and Norman Osborn just like interact, like having known each other in their own universes.
Yeah, but never sharing screen together.
Yeah, exactly. And Thomas Hayden Church like chiming in, being like, it was all over
character
the TV.
Was done well.
Yeah, like they just thought of all these different little angles of people to talk to that you never think you'd get to see, like ever, as a fan of the original films. And the same with Connors and
it just like doesn't feel real, man.
Electro. No, the whole movie didn't feel real. It felt like the best fan fiction script like ever written.
Yeah.
But like they had so many little things that if one thing falls apart, like the whole plot just like falls apart. Yeah. They just kept it just feasible enough. And like then you see Electro get Tony's arc reactor. Like what a smart idea that was. And Doc Ock saying like the power of the sun in the palm of my hand, like going back to his original line, I'm something of a scientist myself.
Yeah, he drops his line.
All these great throwbacks, but like making sense at the same time.
And Thomas Hayden Church asking Jamie Foxx, I fell into a pit of eels. And Thomas Hayden Church, fell into a large hadron collider. And he's like, a couple of villains falling into things.
Yeah,
a couple of villains falling into things.
It's like little nods to like, a bit meta when it needed to be, but not so meta that it broke.
It's like realism. Fan service, but it also catches people up who may have not seen Amazing Spider-Man or the original.
Exactly. Tassim, as you like to say. Yeah. And then obviously the twist of the movie is not really a twist.
We get a great Spidey sense scene.
Oh, that was, I was like, what is going on?
I was like, is Venom about to
show
I know.
Up? I was like, is Stark coming in? Like, I didn't know where they were going with it, but he could just sense the Goblin was coming out, like danger. And then he just kind of went all out. Goblin just like beats the shit out of Spider-Man, convinces all the villains that they're gods and that their gifts aren't curses.
Yeah, exactly.
That was the monologue that I was like, these guys are good now. Like, how are they just going to turn evil all of a sudden? And he just really convinced them.
Yeah.
And he convinced me. I was like, you know what? I think he's right. And then you get this like insane action scene that culminates. I'll let you take over.
Culminates with Aunt May's death, but
it was just incredibly well done.
Like the performance from Tom Holland, but even the way they brought the death on, like at first, like you think she survives, and they're like she drops the incredible line.
I just need to sit down, or
with great power comes great responsibility.
Oh yeah, I need to sit down. Yeah, and then she's like, fine, and she just takes that little extra. Yeah,
and then I was like, oh no.
Oh, I thought she said that line after she fell down. No. Okay.
She says it before, and you're like, okay, yeah. And then all of a sudden she like sits. Yeah. She lays down, and then you realize, like, oh my god.
Like she's been badly hurt here.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've never been in a scenario like that, but deaths aren't this like, cinematic moment all the time. It kind of, sometimes you're in shock, so like you don't know the damage is there right away. So they really nailed that.
Yeah.
And they just dragged it out for so long.
And they didn't cut it with any quips or jokes. There was another sad moment in the beginning of the movie. I can't remember now. Something sad happens, and there's a joke. There's a Ned joke, and there's an MJ joke. But this one, they just wrote it out. Happy rolls up. He doesn't make a joke.
Yeah, he just tells him to run.
Peter gets shot.
Yeah, he got shot as well. I thought it was like a rubber bullet, but I think it was a real bullet.
Maybe it was rubber.
So then you've got Spider-Man just decimated on his knees. He's broken. He's exhausted. And I was just so worried because I was like, when these Spider-Man show up, if they just come out of nowhere at the right time, it's just not going to feel convincing.
And the way they did it was like
Yeah, they didn't bring it straight to Peter.
No.
It was so smart to do it with Ned and MJ first.
It kind of gives the audience a soft introduction.
Yeah, exactly. And like it let them do it one at a time. Yeah. And I'm just getting chills just thinking about it. The whole audience started building.
Oh, we had a great audience, too.
Yeah, we really did. And obviously Ned earlier got we didn't talk about the Doctor Strange chase, which was insane.
That was sick. And Doctor Strange, by all accounts, he kicked Spider-Man's ass as well.
Yeah. But then Spider-Man gets a bit lucky.
He gets a bit lucky. And like, sure, that's good. That's some movie making, but
uses
I'm
math.
glad.
You know what beats magic? Math. Such a Spider-Man thing to say.
I'm glad
we did get. I was kind of a bit of a ding about Strange getting written out for a little bit because he's a bit too powerful.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad that they showed.
And they did it well.
Power. Yeah,
they did it well. It wasn't like I got bigger fish to fry. Like, see you later.
You got to handle this.
See you in the third act. Spider-Man ties him up there. Ned gets his ring and manages to open the portal. Mm-hmm. And the spell gets a bit confused. So the one thing I was kind of confused about was, like, at first I still thought they were bringing them over from their world, but they also got brought over at the same time.
Yes, and they were wandering around.
So that's the one thing that was a bit questionable for me, because that's not what the curse was or the spell was going to do.
Anyone who knew Peter had to come. So it opened up Toby's universe and...
Yeah, so, like, it's just kind of convenient to me that just the two... No Aunt May from Otherworld or... You know, she knew.
Yeah, I guess, but...
Where's Dane DeHaan and James Franco? And
Topher Grace.
Yeah, because if Gwen also knew, she could have got brought over.
Gwen's dead.
I know, but all those other villains died.
True.
So why wasn't she brought over right before she died?
Okay, now you're getting bogged down.
Yeah, I'm sure they could explain it. It's only evil people because of the curse. The spell. It's dark magic. Only the dark people are connected to it. Something like that. I would have accepted that. That would have been fine. And the way they introduced Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, there's something about it, like the way they got the depth of like the portal, the way he was so far away, like,
and like he did like a crouch look.
Yeah, it was like this living icon. Like I can't really describe what it was about that shot that was one of my favorite shots in the whole movie. And the way, because it's almost like he's seeing the audience as well.
Yeah,
and he's coming over from his plane to ours. It was so well done.
He's coming. He sees a good movie, and he's like, "Finally, my chance."
Yeah, and then he came in hard with the humor immediately.
Andrew Garfield was incredible.
Yeah,
in this
he
movie.
was.
Like, holy shit! Is that what a good script and a good Spider-Man movie does? Because I want to see more.
He was on fire. Like, I can't even remember. Like, they're making him prove that he's Spider-Man right away.
Yep.
His movement. It was. He
just seems so excited to be there.
Yeah.
You could tell he's like, finally. Oh my god.
It was insane, and then they do the other one. It's like, let's keep going until we find him, and then that's when everyone, you're getting Toby.
Toby walks in. It's a bit jarring at first because he's a lot older.
Yeah, and he's quite skinny, and he didn't look super healthy at first.
I couldn't tell if he didn't want to be there because he seemed super reserved.
Yeah, that's a great way of putting it. It wasn't the skinniness; it was the fact I was like, is he just here for a paycheck? Like,
yeah. But then he settles right in. He's kind of that mature Spider-Man. Yeah. We have some good lab.
But then having said that, like Toby comes in with the humor hard as well. Like I couldn't believe how funny he was in this.
Yeah.
You didn't like him, did you?
No, I did. I was blown away by it.
Yeah.
Dude, plain and simple, like
because he's like almost crying like right away. He's just so emotional because they start talking about Gwen and he just like his eyes start welling up.
Yeah. Well, even so then just moving on when they finally realize that they got to battle and fight or whatever, they gotta team up, their banter between the three of them, it was
a match made in heaven.
It started off a bit rough, but man, by the time we got to the Statue of Liberty, we had a my back joke, we had a webbing joke.
Yeah, the web was brilliant, the way they handled
Andrew Garfield's you guys are I've never had brothers before, and they don't know how to work together.
And my back was ridiculous. He's like, oh, do you need some help with that? He's like, yeah, I do.
It was so funny.
It was hilarious. And I was really concerned at first because you got this amazing scene where Tom Holland's grieving on the ledge when MJ and Ned come to him. And then he starts talking to the Spider-Man and they were all so far away. And I was like, did they even spend time on set together? I was like, is this just is this it? Yeah. And then they're just all going to put on the suits and it's all going to be CGI.
That's exactly what I thought too.
I was very concerned about that. But then they all go in the same shot and then you get 2 or 3 moments where they're all together without the masks.
Just chatting.
Yeah, because they do the first little fight, they all get their ass kicked, and they have to reconvene and assign each other numbers.
Yeah, and he's like, I fought the Avengers. That's great.
Oh,
he's like, who's that?
He's like, that's amazing. Who are the Avengers?
You're in a band?
Yeah. This is not helping.
Oh my god.
It was insane. And then you get all these mini reunions. You get Max the Lizard and Andrew Garfield having some moments. You get Flint and Toby.
Jamie Foxx and Andrew Garfield had a great scene together.
And then Doc Ock and Toby get that great Peter, my boy, you're all grown up.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you got Doc Ock being a good guy at the end and helping out. Yeah, that scene, you're right, with Jamie Foxx when he's I'm all tapped out and he's just so broken. Yeah.
Going
back to the loser.
I remember Max.
Yeah. That was such a good throwback.
Yeah.
You get like Toby fighting the Tasm lizard. You get a little combination, little pockets of villains. That was great. We're just obviously fanboying out, but it really did deliver. Like the more I'm talking about it, it's getting closer and closer to that 9.
Yeah.
The big 9.
And of course, I have to just mention the one scene that I broke our rule and told you.
Yeah.
So, like, God, you almost have to, like, please go and watch The Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. Like, the only good things about those movies is the relationship between Andrew Garfield and Gwen. And Gwen's death is
That's a bit harsh, but it's the best thing.
It's the best thing, yeah. And Gwen's death is, like, very emotional and it's done extremely well.
Yeah.
So there's a scene in this movie where MJ falls down, like, a clock tower type thing. It's the Statue of Liberty.
Deja vu.
Peter can't save her because he gets hit by the goblin. And Andrew Garfield just comes in, redemption, saves her the way he couldn't save Gwen. And, like...
It was beautiful.
It was incredible. Like, tears down my face, tears down Andrew's face, and it's just like...
The way he just asked her if she was okay, and, like, she didn't really understand, like, why it was such a big deal.
But he got his moment, dude.
Yeah, because it was just such a great completion of his character that I never, ever thought we would see.
I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it.
When they were trying to talk our Peter into, you know, why he should be doing this or why it should be good, and you hear more about what happened in their journeys after their movies. Like he almost turned like bad. You heard Andrew Garfield say, like,
stop pulling my punches.
Stop pulling my punches. And then you hear that it did work out with Toby and MJ, which is great to hear.
Yeah.
You get a mention of Topher Grace's Venom.
You do?
I couldn't believe it. I thought an alien who was made of goo once. So I fought an alien, but he was purple and in a different world. He's like, what, you went to space? Like, oh, man.
He's like, well, I want to come back. You went to space? And then he's like, and then Andrew Garfield's like, oh, you guys are way better than me. And Garfield's like, you're amazing.
Oh, my God, I forgot.
You're amazing. Say it with me.
I just don't feel like I can, yeah. You are amazing. Say it with me. And that was like a nod to, just his franchise, like maybe not being as good as it could have been.
Oh, my God.
Brilliant. And then I have to rewind really quickly to the first fight between Holland and the Goblin. When he's beating he starts getting some good punches on him, and he's just smiling through it. He's like it was like Heath Ledger Joker worthy.
Exactly.
Like,
that's exactly what's going through my head. Even when he's almost got him, he's like, he's the guy who may have killed her, but you brought her up. Yeah,
I was surprised by how dark, like, he was like fucking with his head. Like, he wanted to murder Aunt May and blame it on Peter. Then he tried to like make him be responsible for MJ's death by taking him away from the thing. Goblin like went all out in this one.
And shout out to Toby.
Well, yeah. So then you get another face off between the two, and that was just incredible.
Well, at that point, Goblin thinks he's already won because he's turned Tom Holland like vengeful, right?
Yeah.
And he's about
again like Joker, like me winning is you giving in to your evil, and he did. He had won in that sense. And
then all of a sudden, like, Toby or Holland's about to kill him with the glider,
which is also beautiful because that's like so much symbolism and
just fanboying
mirroring the first Spider-Man because he was took by his own glider.
And he is about to slam it down, and Toby holds it, and he doesn't have to say a word.
And he just stares into his soul.
And he does the Toby, like, you know, his lips quivering.
His little Toby face.
A look. Oh my God.
When Toby's gripping something hard, he starts shaking a little bit.
Holy shit.
I'm surprised there was no train joke.
Yeah, I thought there'd be like they all hold something like that.
You pull a weird face when you do that, eh? And then this horrible little scare where the Goblin stabs Toby. And I was kind of angry. I was like, don't just bring Toby back and just kill him off like he's no one. He's fucking Spider-Man. You can't just kill him that quickly.
Yeah, exactly.
But then they inject Goblin with the antidotes that they'd made for everyone, which was... We kind of skipped over that. You see the science side of all three Peters together.
Yeah, nice little science
developing all the... I think I can help with Dr. Osborn.
There was actually really... Yeah.
I've been working on it ever since. Like, that was smart.
And Tom Holland kind of looks at him, and Toby's like, we gotta help everyone. Gotta help everyone, right? And you can tell he doesn't want to because he killed Aunt May.
Yeah, because Toby's just further along his
he's
development.
Just like the mature Spider-Man.
Which is what we all wanted. When we joked about it after Into the Spider-Verse. We were like, can you imagine if we ever got Toby? No, fuck off, dude. Now we fucking got it. Then we see Norman become good. And then the final moment of the movie is Doctor Strange is back. And you see the multiverse is cracking open,
and all
everyone from all the universes who know who Spider. So you see, I saw Scorpion.
I saw Rhino.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I didn't really see anyone. I was just so overwhelmed.
Yeah, probably go back and freeze frame that.
Yeah, I'm sure there was some Kraven, probably some Morbius in there.
Yeah.
So that was really neat. And then, yeah, this is another bit of the movie that was like a little bit shaky. He's just like, oh, what if you just like make a new spell where everyone just forgets me? Will that stop this?
Well, basically, like, it retcons a lot, and can we kind of get like a new origin story?
A bit of a reset. Yeah. So then he says, yeah, that would work. And there was a great line where he's like, everyone who knows and loves you, we would forget you. Because like obviously Strange really does care about him. That was really great.
That was the third time I cried in that movie.
Yeah.
When they're just saying their goodbyes.
Strange's patience with Spider-Man in this movie. He was so funny, man. Like, I've been trapped above the Grand Canyon for 12 hours. So yeah, this magical... Oh, the moment between MJ and Tom when they were saying goodbye to each other. They're like, and it's just so real. And her lip was quivering. I was like, I can't handle this teenage love.
And they're done now. Like, I think if we get another Tom movie, we'll kind of maybe introduce Gwen Stacy and focus on New York.
Yeah, who knows?
Boston, right?
Well, then you see this beautiful. I'm not sure if this was fully intentional. You tell me if you thought the same thing. Like once he decides to leave MJ and Ned alone because they're so happy, and he's basically the Peter that we all. Like the less glamorous Avengers-connected Peter and all this. He's just regular Spider-Man.
Broke-ass Spider-Man.
Living in an apartment. And that apartment was definitely made to look like Toby's old apartment.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, okay. I thought they were going to do the door. You know how the door always got jammed?
Yeah.
That would have
been... Fix the damn door!
Yeah. Would you like some chocolate cake? That was a great little homage. And he's made a new suit, which is very basic, simple Spider-Man.
Which is my first complaint in Homecoming. I was like, I don't want no techie Spider-Man. Like,
and now we've got that.
We got our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Exactly.
So that kind of resets him. Like, I kind of disagree with you. Like, we will see more Spider-Man movies with Tom Holland.
Whether we get Zendaya and Ned, though?
That's a good question. I think we will. But I think we'll see maybe Spider-Man pop up in, like, other movie. I think they'll give him a bit of a break, like a year or so. And then I think we'll maybe just see him. Maybe you're right. Maybe we see him in the next Avengers movie.
Yeah, I don't think he's coming until an Avengers level threat.
Yeah, because I think he will kind of take his place as like the head or like one of the leaders of the Avengers.
That movie was just like, I'm emotionally drained.
Totally.
Both from like fan service and from like, there were some very emotional moments, man. Like when they didn't get into MIT.
Yeah, even that.
Oh my God.
It was a really good movie. It really was. And like it's settling and I'm really, really happy with it. And it's hard when you're looking forward to a movie for so long. It's like hard not to feel disappointed in some way. And like I really feel super satisfied. Like I
agree.
The humor between the three Spider-Man was like the most magical part of the movie. It felt so real. It didn't just feel like three guys hired to do a job.
Yeah.
It felt like there was a real genuine bond there.
Yeah. There's a lot of enthusiasm.
Yeah. And I'm super looking forward to like, seeing more about how that all went.
Yeah,
I'm sure
I
now
see some nasty
dirty
behind
BTS.
the scenes, man. That's all I want.
Little Toby interview in his old chair.
Yeah.
It was so great with the guys, Andrew I've loved for years. And Tom. And so you were kind of right. Just going through some of the predictions here. I think that was a one and done. Yeah. Definitely for Toby. I think the reception of Garfield's going to be a little too positive.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like, did you find our theater was a bit louder for Andrew?
I don't know.
Yeah.
They loved him both.
Yeah.
But Andrew, I think, Andrew's appearance got the biggest because it was the first moment. And maybe you're right. Maybe then the Gwen or saving MJ was probably the biggest applause.
Yeah, because people started applauding before it happened because he knew it was coming.
Yeah, it was too perfect.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I think it was a one and done. I think there's a chance we see them again down the line, but it's quite slim, I would say.
Yeah, you almost don't need to. You don't want to dilute it.
Yeah,
this movie
I agree.
Was
it was special. Totally. Just recapping the villains, like you say, Sandman in the end was really good.
Yeah, they made him good because he was not evil, but he just like, I want to go back home, so give me the fucking cube.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Which is nice.
The Lizard, they didn't do too much with him, but
they didn't need to.
Yeah, they kind of saved him more for like the action scenes, and watching him, seeing the original Tobey Maguire Spider-Man suit was just really, really special as well. So that was good.
Were you worried that Tobey wasn't going to suit up?
No, not at
I
all.
was worried. I was like, man, is he just coming in for like some guidance and advice?
Yeah, no. He was coming in all the. He just showed his little.
Yeah, he was like, "Fuck you, Owen."
Are you just gonna be dressed like a young priest or something?
A youth pastor.
A youth pastor. Yeah, that was great. Hopefully, this like inspires Toby to like come out of retirement because I think he is a really good actor. Like he's got something about him. Yeah, we were kind of right. Things won't really end well for Spidey.
Any thoughts on J.K. Simmons, J. Jonah?
He kind of broke up the madness a little bit.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
He was kind of like, all right, let's just visit him and like get
calm things down a bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So he did well. Like, I think he's never hit the heights that he had in like the original trilogy.
Yeah.
But it's fun to see him back. It was really well done, actually. Like, just to rub salt in the wound after Aunt May died, just like hearing then J.K. Simmons just like ragging on him, like everywhere Spider-Man goes is chaos and destruction. I thought that was actually quite powerful. Yeah. So that was my favorite part of him. I was kind of wrong. Goblin will find a way to take out Strange. Will convince the rest of the villains they need to kill Spider-Man to keep their loved ones alive. Kind of a bit of a half ding there.
Yeah, I give it half ding.
Something's going on with Strange. He was fine in the end. Spider-Man villains are trying to congregate to stay in this current universe. I'll take that for Electro. He liked it there. Yeah. That was a little sus. Just because the electricity is like better in this universe.
Because he's got an arc reactor.
That wasn't then. That was later on. Even when he was just in the lines, I like this power more.
Yeah.
That was fine. He was having fun.
His redesign was sick. He ended up having the spikes. Thing. Yeah. That was...
Yeah, that was really sick. Doctor Strange will be taken out of play somehow because he's too powerful on his own. He could wreck Green Goblin, is what I have written down. Yeah, okay. So let's move into these post-credit scenes real quick.
Okay. Bit of a disrespect to Tom Hardy. You could have had him show up in this movie, I think.
It hurts. I was fine with it if they were teasing him to go meet up, and that's exactly where it was going, and then he just gets plucked right out of the universe again. But we see a little bit of the symbiote get left behind, but
not Tom Hardy.
Not Tom Hardy.
Which is insane because have you seen the premiere? The premiere for Venom 2. He's like, guys, I'm really excited. Please don't share the post-credit scene. I'm so excited. I'm sure they'll make it work. It's just like they're not gonna. Now they've given you all this, they're gonna make you wait. They're gonna put you back a few more notches. Fair enough.
But the multiverse is very real. I'm sure we'll get it. But it's cool to know that the symbiote that will eventually find Spider-Man is the same one, because it should have the same memories and same consciousness, and maybe can tell him about Eddie Brock. I'm not sure how that's all going to play.
Maybe they can get Eddie in to like help them fight a different Venom.
Yeah, because there's probably an Eddie Brock in this universe that maybe now the symbiote is searching for potentially.
Maybe the symbiote grabs like Flash Thompson or something.
Oh God. I'm not a big Flash Thompson guy. Yeah. They fucked him up in every iteration they do. They just can't get him right. I don't think we heard Danny Elfman's classic. There was one part where it was like a stripped down version.
Not the Spider-Man main theme, the Doc Ock theme. In the credits, Danny Elfman was credited.
Nice. Okay, cool. No Emma Stone or Kirsten Dunst. Rifa Fons. He probably did like I said 2 days on set. I think we're looking at probably like 4 or 5 days on set from Reef.
One dude.
It takes a while to do all that shit. I guess he just had like the.
I don't think they actually got him in for mocap.
I think they might have done a little bit of face stuff.
Not at all, dude.
A day of face stuff, 2 days of voiceover. He did quite a bit of voiceover.
He did quite a bit of voice.
And then a day and the green screen. And you're back. You're not a lizard anymore.
We did get wasn't really a prediction, but we did get a Go Get 'Em Tigers.
Oh yeah, that was clever. Yeah. Will Happy die? No. Will Electro die? No. Do you think that what was I gonna say?
Do you think we'll get Amazing Spider-Man 3 out of this?
It's possible. I think they'll look at what the fans want. They'll look at the reaction.
Yeah.
Amazing Spider-Man 3 will be wild.
It's hard to do a Spider-Man movie after this, dude.
It is, yeah, exactly. That's worrying for them now. Like, how do
you top this? Ever?
But we've thought that before.
No,
we thought that about Avengers 1. It was like, oh, what are we gonna do now? It's over.
Yeah, dude, you've brought like different franchises in.
Like, how fucking insignificant does Morbius feel right now? his little Michael Keaton cameo. Like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
That was my question. So do you think that counted as Sinister Six?
We're missing a 6. That's why I kept waiting for Venom.
Yeah.
So
Are we
no.
sure?
I'm going to say no.
We got 5.
Yeah, we had 5. I'm going to say no. I think
So
Sinister Six.
that's the last thing they can really do is like...
We got like Shocker, Scorpion.
I think you got to go...
Vulture.
I think they just got to do their own thing and go like Venom. You can't do Goblin again.
You can't do Venom either.
He can be part of the Sinister Six. I'm sure it's happened. I'm sure there's some kind of precedent for it. Maybe you go like Morbius, Venom, Vulture, Kraven.
Oh, Craven, yeah.
I think you could do it.
But who cares?
I know.
It's
going to take some
do
time.
I need to watch another superhero movie after this?
Yeah, I was kind of feeling that way as well.
The only thing, like Days of Future Past kind of did it, actually.
Yeah, it did. Endgame also did it. I was very over Marvel for a bit after that.
Yeah, I think I like...
Took
I wonder, like
a good year and a half to kind of reset. But then...
Okay, how about this? Do you think the new Fantastic Four, do you think we'll get a Fan Four Stick and a Jessica Alba cameo?
No. I think that's...
They can't do Chris Evans, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I think now, like, I'm really ready for some new characters. Like Fantastic Four sounds like a good play for them to do right now. Because that's fun. It's very cosmic. Mm-hmm. We'll see where they go. I think John Watts has proved he's, like, really good. Like, almost... I don't want to say, like, he's Russo level, because I think those are still the best directors that have come through the Marvel doors, if you ask me. Mm-hmm. But he's really... I'm excited to see what he does with that franchise. Mm-hmm. And then lastly, moving into the final post-credit sequence, you get a trailer, which they never do. A little teaser.
A little teaser for
Multiverse of Madness. Looks really interesting.
Looks interesting, yeah.
We see a bit of Kang. We see Scarlet Witch. We see...
Chiwetel.
Yeah.
Mordor.
Yeah. And then we see this alternate version of Doctor Strange at the end. Like a bad version of... Things just got out of hand.
Evil Strange. You can tell Benedict's having fun. Yeah. You see some Rachel McAdams as well.
Yeah, so that to me, I'm super invested in that one. Yeah. Like that and Fantastic Four are super interesting. Mm-hmm. I think now we're just going to be going very multiversal. Who knows where they're going to go with it.
Do you feel like if someone was like, hey, I got tickets to Spider-Man for tomorrow night, would you go?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I would go.
I need to.
I'd like it to be like Wednesday, just so I can like decompress a little bit.
Okay.
But I will. I'm sure I'll be going to see this again in theaters, and I don't do that very often anymore.
I agree. And shout out to our audience once again. It was a great vibe in there. Lots of clapping, lots of cheering.
It was awesome. Like I haven't been in a big clappy theater like that in quite a while. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it was just great to like, it's so hard to wait, but like I just also want to kind of thank the powers that be behind this movie that I'm sure it was like very difficult to make this all happen.
For sure. And to keep it under wraps. Did you know?
Did I know that they were in it? Yeah. Like, honestly, yes. Not because I saw it anywhere, but I just knew that they would be in it.
Yes, and that's how I felt as well. And that's why...
I didn't see any images. I didn't see anything. They did a really good job keeping it all under wraps.
And that's why I think the reveal was really good, because it was calm. It wasn't like I'm saving you, like, here I am all of a sudden, an audience is supposed to be surprised. You kind of expect them to show up.
We got the build up. It was really smart how they, like a warm introduction, so they can get to know each other a little bit first.
And they build up to that scene where they just launch off the Statue of Liberty
together.
Oh
my god, that was so sick. They did it. They fucking did it. It's just crazy now that, like... It'll be nice to like kind of look back when all this like era is over and just like know like the pinnacles they did hit. Like they did bring all the Spider-Man universes together.
It's crazy. You could probably go back and watch all.
They all just feel more connected
all 8
now.
Spider-Man movie.
And you just know
you could watch them all back to back.
Yeah.
You'd see them all again in this.
Yeah, and it all connects together nicely. And it just added, especially with Garfield's one, because at least Tobey's trilogy did feel pretty concluded. Mm-hmm. But like, they were just, that 2 was definitely just like, it was a cliffhanger ending. Yeah. And it really, like, they even mentioned Rhino.
He's got a kind of
rhinoceros costume.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to mention like other villains we never got to see.
No.
I thought Tobey was going to be like, I fought Mephisto or something like that. Or like when they mentioned the Avengers, I thought we were gonna like get a clue to like those guys eventually ended up.
Like, don't you mean the Fantastic Four?
Oh my god! You just shot shivers down my spine.
Wait, Reed Richards?
I joined the Guardians, dude.
Yeah, that's it.
Don't you mean the Fantastic Four? I got him right here. Hey guys.
John Krasinski.
Don't you mean? On that note,
Dude, like, I think we need to shit talk this movie a little bit. Like,
I don't really have anything bad to say about it aside from some of the jokes misfired. It's like I think Ned is really good, but there was just like
what about Ned having sling ring powers?
that was fine. And
You
like
okay
there was a
with
little
that?
hint to him becoming a student because Doctor Strange was really impressed with him. He's like, "Did you conjure that?" He's like, So that was, and he got the cape as well. That was cool.
Okay.
I just think it's kind of bullshit that like Ned gets to interact with all these characters and like we'll never see so many like I want to see Ant-Man and Toby have a conversation. Like why is Ned involved in everything?
Get Chris Pratt in there.
Yeah, oh my god.
You're Spider-Man?
I had a lunchbox of you. You're Spider-Man.
Do you think I wonder if we'll get Tom Holland in our next Spider-Verse movie?
Maybe like a voice cameo.
A voice.
But it says in the new trailer for that it's like meanwhile in another universe. So it kind of hints that it is another universe in some way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we'll see Spider-Man for a little bit. I think we got Doctor Strange next, and then it's after that. Then Thor,
Thor,
and then
Love and Thunder,
and then Black Panther 2. I think is the order. So there's some fun ones to come. Let's see where they go with it. I'm ready for a little break now. I'll finish off Hawkeye and then take a little Marvel hiatus, but I'll be back.
Yeah.
I'm back.
I'm back.
I can't believe we got to see Andrew Garfield cracking Tobey Maguire's back.
And it didn't feel awkward.
No,
or weird,
it felt
man.
hilarious because he
hilarious.
considered it. He was stretching out his back and he's like, "Yeah, I would." That was awesome. And like you got to see those two just like their arms wrapped around each other when they went back to their own universes.
I just need to see some BTS interviews.
Yeah,
now.
I'm gonna go home and do that.
Wow.
All right. Well, yeah, we nerded out a lot on that one, but I think it was the only way to do it.
Actually, quick question: do you think if someone had no prior knowledge of Spider-Man's and they've just seen Tom Holland's, do you think they'd enjoy this as much?
I think they would. I think it'd be pretty hard not to enjoy this movie.
Yeah.
But I would definitely recommend refreshing yourself on the past ones because I think there'll be a lot more payoff and you'll enjoy, especially like the villains and like where they were at in their arcs.
Yeah.
It's just you're gonna get a lot more. It's gonna be confusing if you're not a connoisseur, a Spidey sore.
And I guess just to reiterate, to make people remember, Willem Dafoe brings it in this fucking movie.
Yeah, he does. Real special shout out to him.
Yeah.
He's such a good actor.
Yes.
It's crazy. It's crazy how he'll go and do like, the weirdest little art house, low budget thing, but they give him a call for Spider-Man and he's just so game.
Yeah.
Like I always you always read how into the Goblin character he was.
Yeah.
That's his role. Suck it, Dane DeHaan. All right.
Well, we had a lot of fun.
Great year.
Yeah.
Lots of pods this year. Hopefully many more moving into 2022.
Thank you so much for listening, as always.
Big time.
I've been Aman.
I've been Anthony. See you next year.